To our next session, I'm going to invite Stephanie Weir up to the stage. And our next session, I think, is a great snapshot of what's happening as we're moving forward. I mean, we're getting into the final hours of this two-day event, and appreciate everybody staying with us with the same energy through the day. But Stephanie is the National Technical Director for Collaboration-Based Siting, and she's based out of Idaho National Laboratory here, doing a lot of work for the Department of Energy, and I'm really excited to introduce her so that she can tell us a little bit more about some expression of interest on siting that are forthcoming.
Is it all right if I stand up here?
Of course.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, I have to stand up here because if, anybody who knows me knows I can't stand still for very long. Good morning, and thank you to ECA for inviting me to participate in this great opportunity. Thank you to everyone who's here today listening to all of us talk about things that we're really passionate about. Thank you for being present and for the great conversations we've been having in this room, in the hallways, over lunch. It's just been a really invigorating experience for me. I also wanted to mention that Paul Murray and Marla Morales from DOE couldn't make it this week, and they did want me to extend their apologies for not being here. And if you have anything that you would like to talk to them about, please come see me. I will get you their contact information. Because we, as a team, want to be completely accessible to everyone who's interested in our program. Excuse me. Again, my name is Stephanie Weir. I am the National Technical Director for Collaboration-Based Siting, or CBS. I actually work here at the Idaho National Lab. I joined the lab about 3 years ago. Our program is part of the Department of Energy's Office of Spent Fuel and High-Level Waste Disposition. I just have to check my notes because it's a lot of words and I don't want to mess it up. But one quick thing I want to do before I talk about collaboration-based siting is to mention one of my favorite facts about the Idaho National Lab. And that is the fact that this country built 52 reactors on this site out in the desert over a period of 25 years. I think about that. That's really an impressive accomplishment. And I love that. I love this history because it tells us that when we are faced with an urgent need, we can innovate rapidly and we can act decisively and we can really accomplish things. And the other thing that I really love about this is that it shows that when we work together, we can actually accomplish really great things. We can actually achieve and take on these really complicated and challenging issues. So let's see. So I'll go ahead and leave it there. Don't want to mess up the technology. So let's talk about a challenging issue. Let's talk about siting a facility for the storage of consolidated interim storage facility for spent nuclear fuel. I mean, frankly, I don't know of many other issues that are as challenging as that. But I think we can do it. And I think that we are hearing, the key takeaways I've taken away from the last couple of days is that we are faced with an urgent situation where our country and the world needs more power. And I think we can act decisively and innovate. And one of those ways is to address spent nuclear fuel. So going back to collaboration-based siting. So collaboration-based siting is the program formerly known as consent-based siting. And the key reason we changed the name of the program is because we think collaboration really accurately defines and describes what we're doing in the process that the Department of Energy is engaged in, more so than consent actually did. So collaboration-based siting is a siting process with an emphasis on collaboration and also a prioritization of the needs of people and communities. This process is an adaptive, flexible, iterative process, and we've been engaged in it for the last couple of years. So I'm really excited that we're at the juncture where we're actually going to start embarking on the second phase of our project. And this slide shows some of the key initiatives that we're working on in the near term. So you'll see that in the next few months, we're planning to release 3 important documents. The first is the site screening criteria document, and this is the document that sets out the basic criteria that will be needed to site a consolidated interim storage facility. This will include issues like the need for 2.5 square miles, and the need to avoid features like coastal barriers, endangered species, and protected lands. You'll also see that we're going to update our process document. So the the most recent release was in 2023, and as I said, we've been at this for a couple of years now. We've been working with our CBS consortia, and they've been out in community, and they've been learning things. And we're learning from our international colleagues and their successes across the world. And so we're going to be flexible, adaptive, and iterative, and we're going to release a new process document that will help us collect those lessons learned and improve the process as we move forward. We'll also be releasing the expression of interest, or EOI, as we love our acronyms. So the expression of interest is really an interest in learning more about DOE's siting process, and it's also about learning what a federal consolidated interim storage facility is and can be, and whether or not what that would mean in a community and in a region, and whether or not it fits with the community and their region's long-term goals and vision for their community. So I do want to be clear, this was in the prior process document, this was described as a call for volunteers, but that seemed too far forward. So an expression of interest more accurately describes what's happening next. So applicants can apply to this expression of interest, and it is not a commitment to host a facility. It really and truly is just an opportunity to see if this fits into the vision for your region. So successful applicants will receive funding, federal funding, and technical assistance to help them work through community-led projects that will help inform this decision process. So there are things like economic analyses, outreach and engagement, preliminary siting screening work. And at the end of it, we think this process will take about 18 months. And at the end of it, we'll have a report and a conversation, and those qualified and interested communities will have an opportunity to go forward with additional work, and funding available, additional funding. So as you can see, we're about to embark on a really exciting phase to our program, and I'm trying to be very brief so that y'all have time for the next panel, and if you have any questions, I could literally talk about this all day and often do. My apologies. So if you have questions, please do find me, come talk to me. I'm happy to explain more about what we're doing, but wanted to give you guys a quick snapshot about the really exciting stuff that's coming up ahead of us. Thank you.